Know if you can hear me and see me. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Sunday. We are out in the backyard. And we're just chilling. We're just chilling in the backyard. I see that JR popped in and said hello in the comments. Hello, JR. Hope you're well, my friend. It is a beautiful, beautiful day here. We've actually had a really nice weekend. Lovely temperatures. We got lots of work done around the outside, so that was good. It's probably the first weekend in about, I don't know, maybe 6 that it hasn't rained. So that's lovely. And we have Rosie. Rosie's out here. Rosie, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Come here. Oh. There's Rosie. So, as you guys can tell from the title of this video, I called it Ripples and Splashes. And in the first video that I did, I chatted about, this sort of new stage that I wanted to explore. And so this is a continuation of that. When I was at the height of my anxiety, prior to my diagnosis, because of the physical symptoms of a panic attack, I would feel this need to rush outside, and the outdoors became my happy place. I've always loved being outside and nature and so forth, but it was obvious, and many times I would make my husband drive me somewhere and just sit there with me, right? And so I could get my fill. Anywho, so knowing that outside is my happy place and that it just, calms me down, makes me feel like I'm safe in a way that I can't really explain. I want to do whatever I can to my outdoor area to make it feel more special. And so just spent a little time rearranging some furniture out here, which may not sound like a big deal, but energetically, it's a big deal. I moved some plants around in the garden. Rosie's chasing a squirrel. And we took an old fountain that we had, like an old water fountain, because it was in the garden, so it was really far away. Even when it was on, I couldn't hear it. And transformed that into a planter, and then bought a planter and transformed that into a fountain that is sitting on the patio. And the whole point of that is just to quickly sum up and say that I think it is really important, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, that you invest in yourself, time, money, combination of both, to provide yourself that space that makes you feel safe. Because we all need it, no matter what we're doing, no matter where we are, no matter what we're dealing with, we all need it. And that is what I've done. And so I will tell you that we walked out to do this live stream, and my husband said, uh-oh, there's no water in the fountain. Sorry about the background noise. You can't control that when you're outside. But anyhow, the hole in the planter did not hold, and all the water went out. So we're repairing that while I'm doing the live, and hopefully by the end of it, I will show you the water fountain in motion, show you the flowers in the garden, etc. But here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about two specific times where the outside has played a significant role in sort of my healing journey. Rosie's chasing squirrels. So the first time is maybe about 2 years ago. Well, not the first time, just a time. You all know about the fireside chat that I did that I called my forgiveness ceremony. I talked about that in my last video. I sat out here around the fire pit and I had written a letter to my dad, and I read that out loud. I had lots of people in the chat encouraging me and supporting me, and I'm so grateful for that support. That was such a powerful evening, and in a way that surprised me, because while I was doing it, even though I was going through the motions of I don't know, I can't remember if I called it a forgiveness ceremony or release ceremony, but it was kind of like a combo. I felt the importance of what I was doing in real time, but what surprised me was the after of it. Hi, Linda. How are you, my love? It's good to see you, my friend. I didn't realize until I was sort of like inside and going about my business that I was inside and going about my business. And I don't really know how to explain that other than to say that my expectation of what I thought would happen was not at all what happened. And it just suddenly occurred to me that it wasn't what I expected. And when I thought about it, I was like surprised, happily. I sort of justified it like, oh, well, I guess it worked then, right? The point being that what I felt outside, that it was impactful and powerful, I way underestimated the impact of the release, if you understand what I'm saying. All right, what is happening, Rosie? Have you finished chasing the squirrels? So the squirrels come down the trees and she runs along the fence line, barking at them, chasing them. Just living her best life, being a dog. Okay, so that was the first time that in my sort of healing journey that being outside really spoke to me. And the second time is also a story that I've shared with you guys, where I was sitting on my front porch and I was looking out. It was summertime. I was looking up at the stars, and I just started thinking that I don't know how I got here, right? In the space of being afraid to leave my own home. And, what started out as a way to protect myself became a way that I sort of endangered myself, really. And as it turns out, I again had another powerful and impactful situation occurring to me, and are happening in real time. And the little tears were falling down my face, and I just sort of came to the realization, like, I did this to myself. It wasn't a blame thing. There was no fault. I just had to understand that, I made the decisions that I made based on, the time. And now it was time to move on. And again, that impact was profound. And when I came inside from that moment, I felt, again, another weight lifted off of me. And so me saying all of this stuff is just really speaking to the power that outside has for me. Not everybody's going to be the same. Even when I do my visualizations, when I would panic, it was always me being outside somewhere. And so the point, again, is to create a space for yourself that just makes you feel good, makes you feel happy, makes you feel safe and secure. And if we have that space that we know that we can go to, sometimes just knowing that is enough. It's like if you know that you have a pill for headache, right? You're going to be okay. Or, you've got food for your dinner, you're going to be okay. Or gas for your car, that kind of thing, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Hi, Ron. How are you, love? So, we only have 3 people in the chat, and I appreciate all of you coming. I'm going to try to do this on Sunday nights because it's a good time for me. So moving forward, this will be the time. I hope it's a good time for everybody else. But anyway, I'd love it if you guys told me what your happy places are. Like, where's the place that makes you feel safe or makes you feel secure? What's a place that makes you feel like you can just breathe a little bit easier? Like, this is how a chat works. We got to chat together. Mark is over here. Ron says hi, Mark. Linda says hi, Mark.
I said hi, Dylan.
Okay. We got crickets. You'd never know that I lived in a small town with a population of, a couple hundred people, the way that the noise goes on here. All right. Here's a pan of the backyard. You guys want to see? So I have to do this backwards, so I hope that this conveys. So there's the little garden. Can you guys see it? Let's go over. And then it goes all the way around like so. Aw. Look at this. Look at this, you guys. Sorry. Look. My next door neighbor's dog is outside, and Rosie's crying at the fence. Rosie. Rosie. You want to say hi to Willow? Aw. She's so cute. This is my gazebo. So let me explain. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this before or seen this. So we have this gazebo. And then we have that leans up against the house. It's not attached to the house. It's like a 3-room thing. And I sit under here, under the 3-room thing, because it's got a roof. And so you stay dry. And it's got like, like screen canvas wall thing, supposedly to keep the bugs out. Hey, excuse me, Rosie. She's not paying attention to me at all. Thank you, Linda. We have had some issues. So we built this garden. When we moved here, none of this was here. No plants, no trees. Well, the big trees, obviously, the old ones. No patio, no nada. We did all this ourselves. But because we're on a hill, our little garden has fallen apart. Every spring, we have to put it back together again. It's kind of a pain in the bum. But anyhow, it's simple and we enjoy it, and that's really all that matters. So, what are you doing? I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm saying, and Mark's doing like a whole operation over beside me, and so I'm curious as to what he's doing. Anywho, yeah, so I don't know what else to say. This is one of the times when doing a live really bites, because what I had planned didn't work out. And I was rushed. In full disclosure, I fell asleep. I had a wee nap, and I woke up late, and I woke up miserable, and I couldn't get my crap together. And I shoved food down my throat and threw a sweater on. Came out here to find out that my water fountain that I created yesterday, that I was so proud of, the hole wasn't plugged up properly, and so all the water drained out. Which is basically what I was building this live stream on. And yeah, so there's that. Yes, the water. Well, it's not really the water. It's more like the snow, per se. It just comes down. Now, this part where I'm sitting, this patio part, is about the only flat surface, because we've made it flat, that we have. But the rest of the garden is a hill that sort of slants slightly to the right-hand side. So, like, we have it's hard to explain. We have a dip that goes this way towards the house, and then we also have a dip that goes to the right, sort of towards our the shared space between myself and my neighbor on the right. So there's two kind of dips. But when it snows, and you guys have seen the snow in this backyard, it's like 5-6 feet deep, and it just all, so it knocks the little garden wall. We just put it back up. All right, you're on the screen.
No, I wasn't trying to do that.
Well, you're on the screen. So I'm going to take you off screen, because you'll make everyone sick with your turning of the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I say everyone, there's 3 people watching you.
Okay.
Well, am I like, what are you doing? Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do is just go with the flow.
I set it up so I can turn the pumps.
Well, go ahead.
I was waiting till you were ready.
Flaws and all, my friends. Flaws and all. We did have a sectional sofa thing back here, and we got rid of it. It was too much. So we have like a little dining table and two like dining chairs, and then we have this. I think they call it a conversation set. So it's like a love seat and two chairs. I mean, there's only two of us, so that's more than enough. Mark, you're going in a lot of trouble. There's like two people watching, and now you're on the screen in a third way. What are you doing?
Okay. I don't know if they can hear me, so that's why I got this on. But
Well, the microphone is muted, so I'll unmute that. No, your microphone is unmuted.
here we go. Okay, so with our made up pond pump, we got a flower pot. I think it's somewhere around 20 inches high. There we go. So we're gonna have that punched through there. And basically, that flower pot, all it's going to do is just act as an inner table. And we're going to put a tray on top of it to sit and put rocks around it. Sorry for the noise. So this is our inner tray. And that inner tray is just going to sit inside here, sit on top of that flower pot. And then we're going to build rocks on top of it. We're feeding the so basically this tray, this gray tray sitting on top of um the clay pot tray, just to hold it up so it doesn't sink too far down. And then we're going to fill this with water, and then we're going to put bigger rocks inside here, and it'll just kind of like bubble over the rocks. So start with a bigger one. Good point. So, yeah. 1 second. I forgot there was a drain hole inside that big, great black pot. And then we filled it up last night and then it leaked out. What's that? Oh, the ones. Why did we get water everywhere? We didn't get water everywhere last night.
Because who did it yesterday?
Yeah, but it wasn't. If nothing else, I'm here for the entertainment. Anyways,
You know what this is like, you guys? This is like when you watch someone who like steps on the bottom of the rake and then the handle hits them in the head. Rosie's all concerned. You're trying to get the idea.
we can. So this.
Allow me.
Yes, we can take a look.
Hi, baby girl. What are you doing? Speak. You can sit there so they can see you.
This is why I don't do this stuff. She does it. It's not my thing. Believe it or not, we did a huge I don't know. It had to be 8 or 10 foot pond. Got our old house in the city that we had for years, and Kel and I designed it, and it worked out quite well. And apparently, I've lost my touch when it comes to a pot waterfall. So, love how many projects about trial and error. Okay, figure out the right formula. Yeah, I know 100%, Linda. We had it set up perfectly last night, and then we thought there's a drain plug in the bottom of the black pot, and we thought we filled it. We thought we filled the drain hole, and it was working excellent last night.
I know, it's all perfect.
So. I can't build, but I can break one. Well, I can break them too. Anyway, so I'll give Kel back her chair. Yeah, we'll have to sort that out. Anyways, we'll get rid of that for now. Yeah, we're doing a lot of work around here lately and just revamping the garden and trying to figure out this little waterfall thing. But yeah, doing some other work. I had about 18 feet of fence to fix after the winter time, after all the snow come off the roof and broke all the fence. So we've been staying pretty busy with the house repairs, which wasn't really a problem for the first couple of years we lived here, and then years 5 and 6 it's been a problem. So lots of work to keep us busy.
I'm still waiting for new windows.
Yeah, next week our new windows come for the house.
The two that we had to replace.
Yeah, the two we had to replace. We're also considering new siding. So hold on. Yeah.
Sorry, friends, I had to go wash my hands. So that was our failed fountain, but I'll show you a picture and show you that it was in fact working yesterday. Can you see that? It was in fact working yesterday. This is the old fountain. And I changed it into a planter. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Johnny. Happy belated birthday, Johnny. So the whole point of this stream was just about creating. Can you turn it off, please? The whole point of this stream was just about, creating spaces that you enjoy, no matter whether it's in your bedroom, in your bathroom, in your kitchen, just setting yourself up for success, right? That you can give yourself a space to breathe and to feel relaxed and to feel calm. And like this whole project with the little planter, the planter was $19.99. And the reason that we went for that one is because it matches our other ones. We have big tall planters, the same like make, model, whatever. Only this was a shorter version. And the pump we already had, and then the tray. So I think the tray was $4.99. So it was like a $25 project. And just that sound of the bubbling water, like I love it. So how was that? You know, I used to really enjoy gardening, as I told you guys before, with my mom. I loved to garden with my mom. My mom taught me everything I knew about gardening, and I always had a really nice garden. Like at our house in the city before we moved here, as Mark was mentioning, we had a massive pond. We had like 8 koi fish and like a stream and a waterfall, and I'd be out there vacuuming the rocks. Like, and that's not an exaggeration. That is the truth. And ever since we moved here, I haven't had any, like, I still want to garden, but I haven't had any luck gardening. I've had to like sort of figure out what plants work here, because the plants that work here are not the plants that I'm familiar with. And so I've sort of had to like learn as I go. I have spent a small fortune in plants at this house. The soil just does not like my plants, or my plants don't like the soil, or something. Something is radically different. However, I did find one annual that really does well here. And so I stick with that. Snapdragons, which I think are beautiful. I don't know how to turn the lens around. I'm going to show you guys my snapdragons. I'm taking you with me. You can see them, hopefully, the snapdragons. Whoops. See the snapdragons? So, I'd love to go for a walk in a park. We have lovely areas around here to walk, but I'm afraid to walk in them, so I don't do that. We have, coyotes and foxes and so forth roaming the streets, and some pretty unsavory characters, and it's too much stress, too much for me to even contemplate. So my oasis is my backyard. Now I'm grateful that I have the space to create that oasis for myself. But yeah, if you can get out and walk around, great. Before we moved to this house, there was a school nearby, and I used to drive to that school and walk the soccer field. Usually on the phone talking to my husband. Well, I'm sure people, if they were watching, they were like, this lady is crazy. Why is she talking to herself? I was literally on the phone. Oh, I love that, Linda. That's so cute. I mean, they're lovely, and they're super colorful. I never planted snapdragons before I moved here. Just really a new thing in the last couple years. So I wanted to show you guys what I'm seeing here, and I don't know that I can get it on camera. It's really difficult to get it on camera. But so as I sit here and turn around, okay? Oh, look. So above the hill is where the sun is now. Can you guys see that? Right? And so up above us is where the sun is now. Like we're pretty much all in the shade. And so the sun is sitting up there. And if you catch the right view through the trees, through the leaves, it's just beautiful. Just absolutely stunning. Here's Mark. Say hi, Mark. Do you see that? Isn't that glorious?
We can use that one. It's easier.
I wanted to show you guys that because that's what I'm looking at. Excuse me. Sorry, it's hard to know what shows up on camera and what doesn't. Rosie, you want to come and say hi? Come here. Rosie, come. Yeah, it's a good girl. Mark's going to do his nightly watering. Oh, hold on. Daddy, get you a drink, sweetheart. Mark, can you rinse this out for her so she can get a drink? We're great parents for a dog. She knows to go to the water dish, but it's empty, so there's that. There you go, sweetheart. Say thanks, Daddy. So, yeah, I do too. Just at this particular moment of the evening, the sun is starting to set, and so it sort of goes that like kind of goldeny color to begin with. And when it sits above these trees where, that sort of shelter me or shade me, you just get this glorious like gold green kind of color, almost like a chartreuse right now. And it's just beautiful. I love it. Holy, are you thirsty? Can you guys hear that? That's a dog drinking. Oh, it's raining there? I like rain too. I love coming out here in the rain because I am dry because I have a roof. I'm just sitting out here and looking out. Sometimes it can get a little bit loud. Yeah, we have 2 new windows that we had to purchase. As Mark was saying, because during the wintertime, I don't even remember when it was. I don't know, January or February. Like we have a big window in the living room, and then we have like 2 like double hung windows. And I was sitting there one night, this is after he went to bed, and I just heard like a snap or a pop, and it was super loud. And I was like, what in the heck was that? It sounded almost like a mousetrap going off, but it was like super close by. And I didn't know what the heck it was. And, you sit there for a minute and assess, do I go and wake him up or do I not go and wake him up? I decided not to wake him up. And the next day I mentioned it. And then, we sort of figured out from that point that We had somehow the cold had snapped the spring in the window that allowed you to like open and close it. And so the window wouldn't open anymore or stay open. And it was super heavy. Like there was no, I don't know how to explain it, but you couldn't easily lift it. Like it literally took all my strength to lift the window like this much. So we had to get those replaced. So far, it has taken, we're on our 8th week or 9th week, Mark?
Huh?
Is it 8 weeks or 9 weeks at this point?
Oh, it's 9.
Yeah. And it was $1,600 for 2 windows. 2. But we just got the call on Friday that they're coming next week. So, yay, we'll be able to open the window in the living room again. Honestly. So now, Linda, we have something in common. Because my father used to own his own window company. He did not manufacture windows, but he sold windows, like for people's houses. So when I was knee high to a grasshopper, I used to think I knew everything about windows, but balancers. See, now you taught me something I didn't know. I had no idea that's what they were called. If my father were alive, we'd be in trouble for having these people install them for us. I'm sure of it. Hey?
Oh, yeah.
What was it my father used to call you? Guido? Was it Guido or Giuseppe?
Giuseppe.
My father used to, I don't know if we ever told you guys this story or not, but so we used to have a trailer, right? It was mine before I met Mark, and then, it was ours. And it was like a 20-footer. It wasn't a big thing, but it was old. And it was in really good condition because it was just one couple that had it. And they traveled with it until the husband got ill, sadly. And then, when he passed away, she stored it and she never used it again. So it just needed like some good cleaning. However, it was like custom designed. It's a small trailer at 20 foot that had this like fixed dining situation, table and bench that was shaped like a U. That honestly would sit like 8 or 10 people in it. It was like crazy. Anyhow, so we put the trailer in the same park where my dad has his trailer. And we're just up the lane a little ways and on the other side. And my dad comes over one Saturday or Sunday, whatever it was, knocks on the door and says to me, put the kettle on, I'm here. That's what he would say. And so I put the kettle on and I'm talking to him through the door as I'm waiting for the kettle to boil. And my dad says to me, like, what are you doing in there? So he opens up the door and he sticks his head in, right? So he's talking to me from outside, but with his head through the door, or doorway, not through the door, through the doorway. And I'm mixing his tea up, stirring it around and so forth. And my dad says to me, this doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, the whole layout of this place doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, I know. And then he says to me, do you have any paper? I mean, I've been his daughter at that point for a long time. You'd think I would have known what that meant, but I missed it. And so I grabbed a pad of paper for him and a pen. And he sat down at the picnic table, and I gave him his tea. And he drew out a new layout for us. You know, without us asking for one. And within an hour, I am not even joking you, within an hour, half of the contents of the innards of my trailer were now on the outside of my trailer. Because he literally convinced both of us that this was the way to go, and he was going to supervise. And out came the dining area. And the couch. What else? I think that was it at that moment, right? When he did that?
At that moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it got the whole thing.
So then we were like, okay, now what do we do, right? Mr. Husband over here sort of took over the job, and we changed everything in that entire trailer. Five, 6, 7 years later. 7 years after that, we sold the trailer to friends of ours for $500. There was no bedroom in it, and we made a bedroom. We downsized the size of the bathroom. We redid the plumbing and the heating and the flooring. We never had a leak in that thing. It was an amazing trailer. Rosie's like the security. She's like neighborhood watch for the dog. She's like all up in like what's going on. Yeah, Daddy hears it. I hear it too, baby. It's okay. You know, you feel bad for the doggies? These are dogs that are in someone's house. They're not home, that are barking in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that. And she's all like concerned. She keeps looking over there and looking at Mark like, do something. Anyway, the whole point about the trailer and my dad doing the renovations, that's just the way my dad was, right? He was very handy. And I sort of learned my love of wanting to like do things and design things and create things from my dad. I don't know that I'm any good at it, but I love to do it, right? So oh, this is the best, you guys. Watch this. Hold on.
Leave me some room or?
But it's a lovely view from here, isn't it?
I'm waiting to get her to behave maybe just put her up on here and just let her
Yep.
sit there.
Aren't they adorable? The two of them? So, like even that, me talking about that experience, you know, I've always been about creating a space for myself that feels good, not necessarily trendy or, you know, what's new or, you know, what the masses think are right, but just a space that works for me. And I'm still kind of like that, right? I would think.
Yeah. I would think so.
I don't know if I have like a style per se. I don't know what you would call it, but I just know that I like to feel cozy, and sometimes it looks the same in every room, and then other times it looks different. I just think it's important, right? And the older I get, the more cozier I want to be. You know what? Normally you could hear a pin drop here. But in the last couple of years, we have had a lot of people like moving out and then moving in. And some of the new people that have moved in are younger people. And there has been a lot of trees that were hundreds of years old that were cut down. And since those trees have been cut down, not down here where I am, but like up in the up part, like where it's more flat, the noise has like almost tripled. Because those old trees sort of create like a canopy and sort of block the noise out. I tell you, as much as I love this house, and I do, if I came to see this house now and heard this noise, there's no way I would move here. Absolutely not. No way. It's way too noisy for my liking. It's all right, Rosie. But this is to be expected during the summertime. People are out, people are doing things, and I'm okay with it, right? I sit inside, I close my door, and I watch my TV or my computer. I'm fine. Yes, create what you want to see around that. Yeah. I agree, Linda. I watch some of these, you know, like design shows, and they're lovely. But like I can't afford that kind of stuff, and I don't know that I want a house that is like that elegant or elevated that I feel like I can't sort of be myself in it. Do you know what I mean? Sort of the opposite of cozy. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go because I didn't plan on being here for over an hour. And I will be back next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Mark your calendars now. Hopefully more people join us than just 3. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And I will see you next week. And we will do another chat. Until then, I hope you have a great week. Stay safe. And be kind to yourselves. And stay out of trouble. I'll see you guys. Many blessings.